Hey, Dr. Dan. Hope it's going well. Just wanted to give you an update on the personal expenses app for this week. As you can see, here's the app over here on the left, or on the right, my bad. And if we click these plus buttons, it opens up these bottom modals to pop up for us to add an expense. As you can see right now, we're sleeping on our expenses for the week because we haven't spent any money and this app wants us to. And for this week, we have $0 for the days. So let's go and add a pair of Adidas shoes. You know you like some Adidas shoes. I'm gonna say they're around 74.35. Let's say you bought them on Monday. This is another cool feature. You can go around and select your date, and it's only gonna show it for the past week. So you could go up to right here for this top chart. And then if we click OK, so there's our date selected, and it'll go under the Monday column. Now let's say the next day your wife wants you to go and get some groceries. All right, you have to spend $200 on groceries. I know, it's crazy. Now, we're gonna say you bought those today on Thursday. We're gonna add that transaction, and it starts to weigh out where you've spent more money throughout the day. And then let's say you're planning for the future and you're gonna buy another pair of shoes, but instead of them being Adidas, you're gonna buy some Nike shoes. And they're gonna be $90. You're gonna say, I'm gonna buy these. Yeah, we can't go in the future, but we'll just say we're gonna add this transaction for today. And then say, you know what, I actually didn't end up buying those shoes. Let me remove it. You remove them, gets taken out of your chart. And now here's your personal expenses for this week. You bought some shoes and groceries. So now if we take a look at the code, we start out with the main Dart file. And this is a cool thing that we learned this time was we can change these themes. So say we want to do a blue, it'll change the theme to blue over here on the app. And then if we scroll down, we have a lot of state functionality within this app. We have a list, we have some getters to get the data. We have a function for adding a new transaction, for deleting a transaction, and starting an add new transaction. And this is what shows the bottom modal when we click these buttons right here. Within our build file, we have this personal expenses up here for our top. We add this action button, which is an icon button for the plus sign. Then we have our child scroll view, so that way these can scroll. And then we have the floating bottom section for this button right here. And then right here, we show our chart initially, and then our transaction list. And so now let's start taking a look into the chart and how that works. So in here, we have a list of data. This is getting the data for the chart right here for the weekdays and the prices and all that. And so now we also have a get method for the total spending on this week. And once we come down here, we have a card element, and then we are going to come through these widgets and containers to then get a flexible one. So that way this can flex the full size. And then we also put the main axis alignment to space around. So that way these don't look funky. Because if we comment this out, save it. Oh wait, I guess it didn't save. My bad. And then we have these flexible containers right here for these widgets right here. And within there, we have these chart bar elements. So if we click these chart bar, this is a widget that we made. So we have a sized box for these, and these have a label, which is the weekday, the total spending amount, and the total spending percentage of the total. So this is where these little lines come into play. And then when we come down here, we have this fractionally sized box and a container. And the fractionally sized box is for the box right here that has a little bit of a radius. And then down here, this size box is just to add a little bit of a space between the label and the box. And now if we come over here, let's see, so we've gone over chart and chart bar. So now say we're going to add a new transaction. We have a bunch of text fields, as you can see when we open this up. We ask for a title, an amount, and we tell them if there's a date chosen or not, and then also for them to choose a date. And this button pops up that date picker. And then this elevated button for the add transaction. And when this button is called, we call this on press submit data, which is passed in from right here. So we check if any of it is empty, and then we create this enter title, enter amount, make sure nothing is empty, and then we add the transaction to the list. And then if we want to pop off of this, we can, when we click this is what pops the navigator. So if we just click the screen, it gets rid of it. And so now if we go over to transaction list, this is where we keep track of our actual, or not this one right here. This is where we're keeping track of this list right here and what to display. And this, we're using a list view builder with different margins and list tiles. These are list tile elements with circle avatars, and then titles and subtitles, and then trailing, which is the delete button. And then for the actual transaction, we use this as almost a builder with a constructor for when we're creating the transactions. So this isn't a stateful or a stateless widget, it's just a class. And we have an ID, title, amount, and date, and these are all required fields for this element. So say we click right here and we try and add a transaction, it's not going to add anything. And so yeah, and then let's take a look at the Udemy course. So if we come right here, section 4, 52 out of 52, scroll through them. It's a lot of videos this week, not gonna lie, but it was fun. And yeah, so that's the personal expenses app at a pretty high level. Thank you.